Hello, Sant. How's it going? I'm not gonna do too much in the drawing here. I mostly just wanted to kind of get some stuff going. But this is gonna be largely tonal, so or painterly, I guess, is what I want. mostly just want some landmarks here. What's up, Willie? I'm using Procreate. Cold water is a good thing. I've got some room temperature water and a cold cocktail. So I'm using Procreate to paint in, and for streaming, because currently I'm just on a Mac, so I just have my iPad plugged into the computer, and then it comes up as a video capture device in OBS. So it's super simple on the Mac. Once I switch over to the PC, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do, but you know, I'll figure something out. Hopefully, eventually. Now I could just flood fill this, and maybe I will actually. And then I'll get some texture and stuff in here. Let's lighten some of this up. So the idea is they're like on a camping trip or something like that. So, you know, they've just got a lantern on the camping table. This will give us a nice kind of fun potentially creepy single light source to play with. That's my idea. Might come back in with that and I've been good, man. I can't complain. Just been busy. Like, work's been a little insane, which, you know, on one hand is super awesome. On the other hand, can make planning anything outside of work a little challenging. So. But, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about having work that's really busy. I'm just trying to decide if I want to maybe take a little different approach, and I feel like if I'm gonna do a little sketch like this, maybe it would be a good idea to, you know, do it a little different than I might normally. Start with some softer kind of shapes here. Get our light going. That is the dream. And, you know, having done a fair amount of other things, you know, from working in coffee shops, which was a lot of fun, I might add, but obviously not what I wanted to do for a career or anything. I mean, I've worked in a bookstore, I've worked doing security. Okay, this brush is annoying me. Let's just do a normal ass airbrush. Let's see if this will. Whatevs. It's too early to nitpick on brushes and stuff. Yeah, I mean, you know. And on top of that, I've done a lot of different things artistically as well. You know, a lot of different kinds of jobs. Hello, Arthur Kell. I did work as a security guard. I was really into martial arts at the time. I was doing a ton of martial arts and training a lot. I mean, if I wasn't working, I was training. I would do train 6-7 hours a day. It was a lot of fun. Kind of miss doing all those martial arts. But now it's been years since I've really trained. And last time I did train, I cracked a rib and it made drawing a little difficult, and I was already drawing as a career by that time. Because it hurt to hunch over my drawing board, right, with a cracked rib. So I was like, alright, maybe doing full-on sparring training is not what I need to be doing anymore. Oh well. I mean, at that point I hadn't really done it in years. So my body was no longer conditioned. I couldn't take punches to the ribs and getting tossed on the ground anymore. So oh well. Oh well. Alright, so I'm kind of just wanting to set up a little bit of the lighting scenario. Also, I imagine you guys already, maybe follow Mr. Arthur Kell, but if you don't, give him a follow. Also, Autumn, as usual, if you want to post any of your social stuff. I know it's all linked from your Discord, but if there is a particular thing you want to post, feel free, dude. Feel free. So you can kind of see here as we're going. I'm gonna. I don't know what their new weird brushes do. But so I'm just setting up this. Damn, I should have used this brush. I wanted a soft brush. I should have used the soft airbrush, huh? Because I can always erase back out, you know. Yeah, security was boring as shit, though, I have to say. I was very happy to leave that job. You know, it's like most of the time, I mean, nothing happens, and nothing ever did happen, really. Like, it wasn't like I was working in bad parts of town or anything like that. Yeah, I know. Every time my sensei, for some reason, he always liked to demo on me, and I'm not sure why. But he'd like demonstrate some kind of, you know, finger bar or something. So every time he'd be like, "Give me your hand," I'd always give him my left hand, you know, because I'm like, "You're not doing anything to my right hand." And yeah, I mean, luckily I never did injure my hands at all, so that's a good thing. Alright, we're gonna trying to think through the values a little bit. I feel like they would have some darker values, but probably not, for the most part, not as dark as like what'll be in the background, I think. We'll see. I'm gonna have to paint around a little bit and see what we find. What do I want? This. Don't know what the difference is between these. What is the difference? I imagine it's a texture thing. You know, we got a ways to go before we hit black. Let's go a little darker. Yeah, sure, man. If you wanna, I mean, if you want any feedback or anything, you should join the Discord. There should be a link to the Discord at the bottom of that link tree. So, you know, if you want any feedback on any art at all, you know, Discord is a great place for that kind of stuff. There should be an art crit section for critiques and whatnot. So my idea with this is, yeah, they're all on a camping trip or something, and they're like, yo, where'd Paul go, man? We haven't seen him in a while. And then I imagine they're like, hey, did you hear something? So they're all like looking or trying to look into the shadows. Hey, thanks, Oscar. Then we're gonna knock in a bit of background shape, which, let's go a bit darker. I want to avoid any complete blacks in here. We may end up bringing in some eventually, but for now I just kind of want to not do that. So let's get our trees and stuff. Wow, these went really dark, huh? I feel like we could darken these a little bit then. It's hard, like even when you get into that last range of value, the slightest bit will change things. Gotta make it feel like a camping trip, right? Get some trees and stuff. Reinforce that lighting, that like single source light. How's everyone doing on this Thursday? I had a very slow start to the day. I did not want to get up. I actually slept very well, finally. But man, I was like, can I keep sleeping? might do. Make these trees a little, not quite so friendly and luscious, because, you know, it doesn't work with our creepy vibe that we're wanting to get here. Yes, join both the Discords. I think Autumn's is actually more active than mine. He's good at that stuff. You'll find good critique either way. What is my camera doing? I didn't see. Is my camera doing some weird shit? Please explain. Because I don't see it doing anything weird. Oh, it was blurry? Really? That's weird. Is it... Was I too close to it? Like that? Oh yeah, maybe I was leaning in with that 1.4 f-stop. Gives me a very shallow, shallow range. Let's getting our Bob Ross on with these trees. By the way, hello, Carpe Diem. I didn't see you come in. Welcome. Good to see you. Want to give it that forest vibe. Creepy forest vibe. Kind of like where I grew up if you caught it on the wrong night. One night I had some friends over when I lived up in Northern California in the Redwood Forest, and we may or may not have been not sober at all. Not on booze though. We were not drunk. Might have been some other substances. But we were like, hey, let's go for a walk, nighttime in the forest, whatever. I think we got about 6 steps out of the gate before we just were like, this is really creepy, guys. And we were just taking like 1 step at a time, and we were just like, for some reason, we just scared ourselves shitless and ran back inside. And then, as things progress in the night, as they will, all of a sudden our moods change, and we just like stomp outside, and we're like, this isn't scary, this is dumb, and we're just like walking around like nothing. And but what I'm remembering is the creepy vibe, which is what we're about to get into here. Because what they don't realize is that, actually, I just want to clean up some of these shapes, and maybe kind of want to know if I'll do, might not, whoops. I was gonna do a gradient, but I don't know yet if I want there to be like a moon in the sky or not. Might not do that. Might have it just be not moonlit. All right. Alright, so what our poor co-eds don't realize is that they should probably look the other way. Just make them and that Paul ain't coming back. Yeah, I wasn't gonna hook. I'm actually thinking he's gonna full on we're gonna have a little bit of the light catching, but not too much. coming up? Yeah, it's coming up there. But, you know, there's nothing like a good old axe in the woods to, you know, dampen your night. And we'll get into some more details here. I just had to kind of, you know, knock some stuff in and and you know, we gotta have the light catching already. Where I want to start. Feel like these, at least we can combine. Start smudging and blurring and doing all that good stuff. Losing some edges and whatnot. I always like doing this kind of, you know, sort of reverse lighting. You know, just since we tend to do most of our work in top-down lighting, it's kind of fun to sort of play with it and go the other way. Just kind of pushes our understanding a little bit more. Understanding of anatomy. Because sometimes we'll get so used to just doing the same shapes, right? That if we can kind of like mess with things a bit, it just forces us to kind of really consider what the forms are and not just the shapes that we're used to drawing, right? Similar to how some people will say, oh, turn the subject upside down, or, you know, turn the drawing upside down, so that you stop kind of saying, oh, hey, that's an eye, and really looking at like the forms of all of it. Damn it, just kind of ended up looking like me, didn't he? Like a younger me. Like when I was in college. I didn't go on creepy camping trips in the woods, though. No way. It's okay, I don't mind putting myself in as a potential victim. But who knows, maybe I make it out alive. Maybe I'll make this like one of my ex-girlfriends or something. No. No, that would be mean. I don't know that I could necessarily conjure them up from memory anyway. I probably could, but I won't. Debating the shorter hair, maybe. Might do that. Yeah, it's I mean, you know, it is a lot of practice, but also, like I said, kind of just being aware of the forms that you're painting and not just relying on like, this is how I draw a mouth, you know, or this is how I paint a mouth. It's really like being aware of kind of what those actual forms are, and then you can really kind of get a better sense of how to manipulate them, you know. And, you know, not to say that I don't rely a bit on you know, repeated shapes and stuff, because I do oftentimes. But then if you at least understand what it is you're doing, then you can kind of push and pull those shapes in different ways to change them. if you want them to look different from what you usually do, you know? So sometimes I'll start with just the kind of the motions, the marks that I really know, and then I'll be like, okay, I want to change the shape of this mouth. And so as long as I understand the shapes, then I know what I need to push and pull to do that, you know? Yeah, it's fun. Like anytime you can kind of change your lighting, really, and I would say just no matter what kind of lighting you do, the main goal should be just like be very specific with it. Don't just go on automatic, you know. Like think about your lighting and think about why you're choosing it, you know. Think about the mood that you want in your piece and what lighting scenario might support that best. You know, it's like, it's rare that I think of a lighting scenario and then think like, okay, what image would suit that? It's generally like, okay, what story do I want to tell? And what can I do that will best support that story? And even in this, it's like technically they're lit from the bottom up, but they're also all at slightly different angles. So I have to kind of be aware that it's like I can't just repeat kind of the same stuff on each one, you know? Because, well, she's lit from the bottom up. She's also actually a little more front lit than our dude on the right. Or left, sorry. And the dude on the right. Dude on the right is like almost totally side lit. So with her, I'm gonna have to adjust what I've done. And then the other thing I want to kind of make sure to try and capture is kind of the quick fall off of the light, you know? I don't want it to be this like super powerful lantern. So even on her, like, I want to show a bit of that light fall off. I always love those shadows that the eyelashes cast. Only thing I wanted to get a little more of like a lean with her, so we gotta adjust some of this compression. Hey, Kaladamasu! Have a good one. Oh, is Twitch getting all crazy? That's too bad. You know what? She needs, just so that we don't like feel too bad that she's probably gonna, you know, get hacked to pieces. She needs an Apple Watch. Sorry, Apple, but anyone that goes camping with their Apple Watch, you know, it's probably gonna get it. Willie, I'm not sure. If I do color it, it will be very simple color. It's possible, but I'll have to kind of see what my mood is. I feel like I'm probably gonna leave it black and white. You know, so I don't know. We've got some time still. We'll see. There's some to get rid of. Let's make this kind of a shitty table out there. So it's like not not super flat or anything. It's like maybe it's a bit warped from sitting out in the weather for who knows how long. Watch out for splinters, guys. Yeah, no, I love working in value. I think it can be such a great way to, you know, capture a mood. So like I said, if I decide to add color, it will be subtle, and it wouldn't be till like the very end. I'd want to keep the color very muted, but I don't know. I hadn't planned on adding color, so I probably won't. God damn it. This guy's gonna look like me too. I need to switch some things up. Porn stash. Porn stash makes everyone die. Porn stash is gonna die first, you know it. And no one will really mourn his death. He's kind of a douchebag anyway. It's because of what he said that Paul had to go out in the woods and get some air anyway. Because Pornstache was being a dick. I didn't mean it, bro. I was just joshing. It's like, screw him if you can't take a joke. Yeah, I mean, it's all about kind of throwing some shapes down and then, pushing and pulling until you kind of find something a little different maybe, or find what it is that you want. This is one of those hipster kids that just thinks the 70s were way cooler than they actually were. Except the music. The music was pretty dope. But not the fashion. Smudgy smudge. And some quick ways to change features. I was about to say maybe the quickest ways, but I don't know if they're the quickest ways, but it's just really changing. I mean, one, you can change face shape. Like, that's probably the quickest way to set people apart. But then also you can change nose shape pretty easily. Like if you catch that early on, right? You can imply a different nose shape, and I think mouth shape is pretty easy to kind of do something different on. I mean, you know, you catch it early enough, they're all pretty easy to push and pull and, you know, tweak as needed. She kind of feels like she's looking at us, and we don't want that. Our favorite thing to do, change eye lines. Get some highlights in here. Hey Oscar, thanks for the follow. And our pleasure. Any art questions, hell, really any questions are welcome. They don't have to be limited to art. But, you know, I do love talking art, so I'm always happy to do that. Oh yeah, that is late over there, huh? Yeah, I mean, you can always check out the VODs, you know, on either Twitch or YouTube. I know it's not the same as actually catching something live, because you don't get to, you know, interact and ask questions. But you can always check them out. And Saturdays I do stream earlier. Like I'll stream in the afternoon here, you know, Pacific time, Los Angeles time. Although this Saturday I'm not sure I will be able to. We have lots and lots of work. So, but we'll see. I don't know. I might try and do at least like a short stream on Saturday. Just because I feel like I'd rather do a short stream than no stream. And maybe it'll be a nice quick break from work for a minute, you know? Willie, I don't think I ever felt like I wouldn't get good enough. I think if I look back on my early art, you know, from my teenage years and even early 20s, I think there were times that I thought I was maybe better than I really was, and it's not that I wasn't good, you know, for like my age or, you know, compared to some of the people around me. It was just that I think I didn't quite understand why I wasn't getting work, you know, or this is before I decided to go back to school for illustration. And I was trying to get work and couldn't. Even though everyone was telling me, you have a good portfolio, you just don't have the experience that we're looking for, you know? And who knows if that was true or if they were just being nice. I don't know. I didn't have any professional experience, so it's totally possible that it was true. We will never know. But it, more than anything, like, even, like, regardless of the reasons, I think I was stubborn enough that it wasn't gonna stop me. You know what I mean? So I think feeling like you might not be good enough to get a job in art, like, that's okay sometimes, honestly, to feel that way. You just don't want that to stop you from pushing yourself and trying, because at the end of the day, people get better at different speeds, you know, and you can get there. It might take you longer than it takes, you know, this other person, whoever that is, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We're all on our own journey. And you know, we get kind of like derailed a little bit and also misinformed, I think, by social media. Because on social media, everyone goes nuts when someone's young, you know, and doing something. And it's like, I'll look at stuff from artists that are like in their early 20s, and sometimes I'm like, damn, they are way better than I was at that age. But they also still have a lot to learn, you know. There is a lack of experience. There's a lack of professionalism almost all the time. It's rare that I see someone that's like good in their early 20s that's also very professional. Most of the time there's a bit of ego and attitude there, and yeah, that's part of the learning process and the growing up process, really. But people do get enamored with that and sometimes blow things out of proportion and make people seem better than they actually are. You know, and I mean, you know, in the last like 20 years of seeing people posting online and people going nuts over some like young phenomenon, the amount of times that those people just end up dropping off the map. Like, you hear about them for a little bit, they're the hot thing, and then you never hear about them again until sometimes way later, and then it turns out they're just some like concept artist at some game company, and they're not necessarily doing anything like super special, you know, because there's a point, I think, that everyone hits in that scenario where maybe they get put in their place by someone that is older and better, or maybe they just come to realize it's like, oh damn, I gotta tone this stuff down because I'm not easy to work with, or who knows. So I think if you just happen to be someone that kind of needs to push yourself a little harder to get where you want to be in art, like, you'll learn a lot from that, and I think you'll gain a lot of valuable experience from doing that kind of stuff. And I think it's just a valuable and necessary kind of life lesson, you know, to have to kind of struggle with some of that stuff a bit. There were things that like came very easily to me, and I then had to kind of work to like find the struggle for myself at times. But it was like, if I didn't do that, I wasn't really gonna get better, you know. And it wasn't enough that if something did happen to come a little easily to me, that like that wasn't enough for me, you know. Like, I needed I think I had a goal in mind of kind of where I wanted to get to with my art, and if I wasn't there yet, then I wasn't gonna stop pushing, you know. And at a certain point, I think that it just starts to become a habit and second nature to a degree. So like, I'm never totally content with where I am. Like, I'll be happy for a while, or at least like when I achieve some goals, I'll, you know, revel in that for a little bit. But I'm also painfully aware that it's like, you know, there's better art out there than mine. And at the same time, you also have to recognize that that's always going to be the case, you know, and you can't be good at everything, as frustrating as that is sometimes. Because I love all kinds of art, but I also have to be aware that like there are only so many hours in the day, and you know, I gotta do the stuff that's gonna pay my bills and make sure I have a roof over my head to do art under. Because damn, all you have to do then is look at like Sargent's paintings or you know, Lawrence Alma-Tadema, or you know, Jean-Leon Jerome, or Lepage, or all these, you know, amazing classical painters, Fetchin and what's his name? Other Russian dude. There's a lot of those good Russian painters. Yeah, I think the main thing is like just don't, you know, don't let the struggles defeat you. You know, I think that fire is important. That frustration is important. Like if I hadn't used that frustration, and it's funny, like I was never competitive, you know, like I loved playing basketball, but I loved it because it was fun. I didn't give a shit about the competition, you know, like I wasn't playing it for that. I wasn't one of those kids that grew up like playing in Little League and stuff like that, you know, so I didn't grow up with that kind of competition when it came to sports. But man, with art, I will get competitive. And I always have. And sometimes it's just competitive with myself. It may not be with someone else. I might do something and then I'm like, fuck, how did I do that? And then I'll get frustrated because I don't know how I did that. And then I want to unlock the secrets, and you know, so like the more we can use that fire to drive us, I think the better off we are. All right, let's get into our axe murderer here. Yeah, and it is a lot to learn, and I mean, realistically, you just can't stop learning. I mean, the learning will never stop. You know, the learning's never going to end. You're always going to be learning, and then as you learn more, you're only going to realize how much more you really have to learn. You know, like, you start to realize how big this stuff is. And I mean, for me, you know, it's like I would have these people that I would look up to, and then every time I thought I was like getting closer, you know, to their skill level or whatever, and then I would have some other art epiphany, only to realize how much more I really had to go. Like, how much more learning I still had before I really got to their level, you know. And it's tough, you know. The other side of it is that the art landscape is changing, you know, and it's changing all the time. And these days it changes quicker, maybe, than it used to. And so. And what that does is that, you know, will have the tendency, at least I have the tendency, to look at a lot of older artists, you know, and think like, man, I just like, I love what they do or what they did. Older artists, meaning most of them are dead. And, you know, I'm like, I love what they did and I want to do that. But it's like, there's nowhere to do that stuff anymore, you know, because the landscape has changed. And so it, you know, it gets frustrating because we'll spend our time studying these different painters and artists in school or whatever. And then by the time we get out of school, it's only then that we realize that, like, holy shit, like, in a lot of ways, beyond having awesome skills, what they were doing isn't necessarily relevant, you know, to any kind of professional landscape. So, you know, there's that aspect too, and it is tough because, like I said, I don't really tend to look at a lot of. I mean, I look at contemporary art, but I don't study a lot of contemporary artists, with the exception maybe of Yoshitaka Amano, because that guy, you know, is one of my idols from the time I was a kid. So, you know, it's a tough one to kind of, it's a lot to keep up with. And I mean, there's no easy way to do it. It's like this weird mix of trying to keep our finger on the pulse, but then not so much that we're just trying to, you know, do what some other artist is already doing. You know, it's a tough one. So there's a lot to it beyond just learning about art in general. You know, beyond just trying to do it. It's like we also have to try and navigate that world and figure it out, you know. And it's tough. Like, I think one of the things that really helped me along the way was kind of when I realized that like, you don't have to do everything, and it's not to say like, oh, just create a look, because I don't care about that. Like, I've made a career off of being able to do a ton of different looks. I mean, my first real job out of school, even though I was freelancing kind of through school, but my first job as a sketch artist out of school was basically sketching concepts for video game covers. So I would have to match whatever style the game was. If it was super cartoony, I would have to do that. If it was hyper real, I would have to do that. If it was like a fun game, you know, get that mood. If it was an action, whatever, you know, FPS kind of a thing, I'd have to get that. And so like you know, and at the time I didn't really have a look per se, and that helped me. And so then when I kind of realized that, okay, I don't actually have to do everything, or like, I could look at an artist and I could love what they do, but be very clear in myself that, okay, I love what they're doing. I don't do that, and I don't want to do that. But I can be inspired by the fact that they're doing an awesome painting, and that makes me want to do my own version of an awesome painting, whatever that is, you know. So, you know, there are contemporary artists I definitely do look at and admire and study to a degree. But you know, I try not to go too heavy into that stuff. just because I don't want to, I don't want to rip someone else off. But that is one of the reasons that I tend to look a lot at older masters, people that aren't alive, because then I don't mind then saying, like, you know what they're doing here, like, totally fits into what I want to do, and so I'm gonna study that and figure out how I can use it. I just don't like to do that with current working artists, because they've worked hard to do what they do, and props to them. I'll do my own thing. But, at the same time, I think no matter what, with mileage, we develop our own look. Like, there's no way around that. I studied when I was first working as a sketch artist. There wasn't a lot available for me to look at because I didn't, like, as sketch artists, we're not really allowed to show what we do. And the only person that I really saw showing their stuff was this artist, Mike Butkus, Butkus. And he's amazing. He's been doing it for a long time. His drawings are phenomenal. But he was the only one I could really study to try and get a handle on, like, what clients were looking for. Because I was brand new. I didn't know shit about sketch art, but I could sketch. That was about all I had to go off of. So I did. I studied a lot of his stuff. But I think maybe because I was also really into other artists, Ian McCaig being a major one at the time. So it was kind of studying what Mike was doing, but then sort of mixing it with a bit of the McCaig mark making, which is very similar to Frazetta, by the way, who was kind of my first real big influence. So I think that's why I didn't mind kind of really studying McCaig's work, because I kind of felt like he was in some ways picking up where Frazetta left off to a degree. Different subject matter, obviously, and a lot more sensitive, I guess, like not quite so obviously masculine in his art, as Frazetta was. And then also for a healthy dose of feminine, I was studying the hell out of Claire Wendling too, so. Let's switch up our brush here and do they don't realize that poor Paul ain't coming back. I was rambling there for a bit, but if anyone has any questions, please ask away. As we get our creepy vibe on in honor of October. Yeah. Well, it's actually technically what I still do. I mean, I'm in my 13th year, finishing up my 13th year now as a sketch artist in advertising. Though now I tend to do more movie poster and TV poster concepts than I do games, but we still do a fair amount of games too. And so in advertising, you have a position that is called a sketch artist, because sometimes they don't have either the 3D assets or the photo assets to build ideas from. So the way that they've always kind of done it is with sketches, and literally like pencil on paper kinds of sketches, which is a lot of fun. You can do digital if you want, but I still do a lot of pencil on paper these days. And it's just to kind of sketch ideas out. Most of the time you have art directors that are coming up with the ideas, and then the sketch artists will kind of help sort of flesh them out and visualize them a bit more. You know, sometimes we'll chime in and throw in our ideas. It kind of depends on how slammed we are, because, you know, ideation takes time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I want to catch a little bit of a harder edge from the table here. And I mean, it's not quite like concept art, simply because you're not designing characters or anything. But it could almost be like keyframe illustration, right? Where things are designed already, but so you're coming up with compositions. But the big difference with advertising is it's generally less narrative and more iconic, because you don't really get to get into heavy storytelling, because when you're doing a poster, sometimes it's going to go in a bus shelter, and yes, you do, Jay-Z. Yeah, so sometimes if a poster goes into a bus shelter, then you're talking about people driving by at like 35 miles an hour, and so you don't have time to get into heavy narrative. It's got to be an iconic, strong composition that catches their eye, tells them what they need to know, right? Really, like, in like 2 seconds. So by the way, my girlfriend texted me, and any American football fans out there, apparently Tom Brady thought it was a 3rd down, but it was a 4th down, and he lost the game. Ha ha ha. That makes me laugh. Yeah, John, we're painting these co-eds that are like on a camping trip, and they're like, hey, yo, where's Paul? We haven't seen him in a while. And they're like, hey, did you hear something? Little do they know, poor Paul ain't coming back. And neither are they. I feel like we need a cell phone on the table. Because, you know. Modern day and all. I've had this image in my head for like a week now and just couldn't quite get around to it. So now we're getting around to it. Light a little bit more love here. And it wouldn't be camping without some annoying ass moths and shit, right? Do a little bit of cleanup. I don't want to go super clean on it, but you know, just clarify before we get into our moths. I feel like he needs a beer bottle. I'm just trying to think of where it'll be. Not really. I don't think I really have any rituals around that stuff. I'm trying to think of like what I do when I like really need to ideate on stuff. And yeah, I mean, other than sometimes like pacing, you know, because walking, like doing some kind of physical activity sometimes helps to kind of clear the mind a little bit. You know, the occasional drink, whether it's a cocktail or sipping something else, right? Plenty of studies done that show that alcohol helps with creativity, just not so much with productivity. So if you have to be productive, no drinking. But no, you don't want to rely on alcohol anyway, even for creativity. You know, just sometimes it helps. Yeah, for me, it also depends on what it is I need to be productive on, you know, or like what I need creativity for. If it's art, usually I think at least if I'm having a hard time, like being creative or coming up with something, that's when I will look at just kind of old art that inspires me. And that often helps. But if it's like, you know, something like writing, then walking definitely helps me more with writing. Sometimes just, you know, even if that's just pacing within my own apartment, you know, it doesn't have to be like some involved walk. It's just, when I am very much in writing mode, I think I will do a lot of pacing. Thankfully, I'm in a larger apartment now, so I have more room to pace. My other place was small. No room to pace. It sucked. This dude needs... Porn Stash needs a pinky out. Sorry, Porn Stash. No one really likes you anyway. He's the annoying friend. Oh, dude totally needs a pinky ring. Now really no one likes him. Sorry, bro. No, that's okay. Wait, why did you get auto-modded? What did it say? Where's this, wait. I forget where it puts it. We're gonna let you, though. I don't know what that means. Oh. Something about broke back. Apparently we're not allowed to post that. I don't know. Yeah, Oscar, realistically, Drew Struzan is a good example of someone that didn't really have a style before when he started working, and he was able to work because he could match other styles. So you know, there's a place for that. I know a lot of people will talk about having a style, and or we'll see people that have just like a look that they do and it's super awesome, and then we feel bad that we don't, but you know, it happens eventually. You know, I think with time, there's no way around it. Like, you will develop a look to your work. All right, let's get our moths in here. We need some moths, and like just little bugs and whatnot. Moths and fucking mosquitoes and whatever. They should have gotten one of those like bug zapper lamps, and they totally didn't. They're gonna actually, they're not gonna live to regret it, so sucks for them. Get some of their shadows on the table. Get some that are closer. To camera. Forest needs some love. Now that we've got our dude in there, we can kind of like, I want this forest to be a little more dense, but I wasn't sure how dense I could kind of get away with. at first. So now that we've got our freaking axe murderer in there, we can play around with that. Go to town here and there. Get I feel like we're gonna need to hint at the moon or something back here, because I'm sure I have a lot of black and white stuff. I don't know if I have a ton of black and white paintings, though. I have more sketches. I don't usually go like this far, you know, with black and white. Let's see here. I feel like we need the moon because it'll just make the lighting make a little more sense back there. Without it, it doesn't quite work. And I'm sure I have a star brush somewhere, but whatever. We don't need it. We don't need it. You know who I would say, Willie, if you want to really kind of study more value stuff, I would really look at Howard Pyle. He specialized in that. He did very limited color. And mostly because apparently he struggled with color. But, you know, he's kind of considered like the godfather of American illustration, because he founded the Brandywine School of Artists, which most of the really well-known American illustrators in the golden age of illustration came from there. N.C. Wyeth, Dean Cornwell, Harvey Dunn, even to a degree Maxfield Parrish, you know, a lot of those guys. So, but Pyle worked a lot in grays and sometimes duotone, but his color was very limited. But he just he would tell such great stories with such limited values. And as did Harvey Dunn. I mean, Harvey Dunn did amazing stuff. He was much better with color than Pyle. Dean Cornwell, amazing when it came to color, or duotone, or just grayscale, it didn't matter. Yeah, I love those guys' works. So I do like it with the moon. I just feel like we need to I still need this more dense. You know, like I don't want it to feel like they're just right on the edge of the woods. Like they could just run out there and they'd be safe. I mean, granted, like that could be a great distance off, right? That edge of the forest. But I think one of the things that we can do is have these areas where it's like you barely get any sky or anything poking through. And if we have a bit of canopy, like sort of crowding in from the top in areas, not everywhere, but some places, it'll help to sort of make it feel dense. Can't forget those branches. Yeah, it's I mean, honestly, these days you can learn so much online. You know, when I was like in animation school and even early on in illustration school, you know, there was a fraction of the information online available. In animation school, I went to animation school in 2000, from 2000 to 2002, so there wasn't nearly the amount of information that there is now. You know, YouTube wasn't going to get invented for like another 10 years or something, or 7 years, whenever it came around. Alright, let's do... Thinking we'll do a few little finishing things. I don't know if I can do this or if I need... Oh, okay, cool, I can. Sweet. Scale, we are gonna want some noise. What the hell is this? Clouds, billows, ridges. I don't even know what that does. But they look different. I think I like Ridges. Maybe billows. Billows are fun. Octaves. I don't even know. I don't even know. But we gotta have some noise. Not that much though. Subtle. And then up, cat's going crazy. Going crazy. No, I need an actual, alright. Okay. There's our noise layer. So we gotta do this. Copy canvas. Paste canvas. All right. Yeah, there's a little bit of that axe murderer, you know, Friday the 13th kind of stuff going on. Faux show. Let's bring our center over here. Yeah, now we're just kind of doing our, like, post-production on this a bit. Which is always fun. I don't know, what am I doing? Brush, airbrush, on a big airbrush. Let's actually do, I'm gonna do a normal layer. What I want that light to have just a little opacity to it, you know? Which gives us just a slight sense of atmosphere in it, you know? I'm gonna kick it off of white though. And little atmosphere goes a long way in creepiness, because then we just can't like see, you know, as far, I guess. That's kind of the idea. And it gives us a chance to sort of pop our little mods and shit out a little bit. Nah. I wonder. I duplicated this canvas from another one, so I have no idea what it'll show in our video. We may have to skip past if it... Oh no, is it gonna show that entire other keyframe that we haven't finished yet? Ugh, serves me right. Alright, let's go from our actual... That's what I get for duplicating it from another canvas. So yeah, we had our super rough sketch just for landmarks. It's fine, I can always trim the video. Got our forest in there. And then our dude, there he is. Ooh. This one, she was kind of looking at us more. I wanted her looking off, which we addressed a little bit later. And porn stash over there. Right. Then getting into our axe murderer. I don't like that the time lapses are so much higher contrast. They need to fix that. They didn't used to do that. Then all of a sudden with 5x, the time lapses are like super high contrast. Not cool. I hope it would be better once I export it, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, see, like so much higher contrast. I love that like faded kind of cheap camera look. It's fun. It's fun. Whew. Yeah, it's a big change, right? From our other one. This was that other creepy one we did a little while back. Of course, this was just before they introduced chromatic aberration, so I actually had to fake it. I had to separate the channels myself to get that look, get that like color fringing in there, which was kind of fun because I had more control over the color, the actual color. But this one was a fun, creepy scene too, with our dead body mysteriously floating under his boat. Who knows if he doesn't know she's there or if he's the one that dumped her. We don't know. Oh, to be on the bayou. Be a creepy serial killer. No thanks. No thanks. I think this one's done. I mean, you know, short of like going in and really rendering shit up, which I don't really see the point. I don't really know what else I would do to do more with it, so I feel like it's done. I think it's done. We're gonna call it done. Oh, really? You didn't see that until now? Yeah, that was sort of like... So the original one I had done years back was this, but it was vertical. So I was kind of like, well, how would this be horizontal? You know, and I wanted to change some things. Like I made him way more mysterious instead of having the two lights. Plus I gave him these weird fireflies in a jar, which kind of gives it sort of a cute vibe in a way, aside from the fucking creepy body. Because I was like, no, I want a darker vibe than that. So no fireflies, just a old lantern and just one so I could keep his face mysterious. Ooh, and he's got a bottle with 3 X's on it. Got his moonshine. And yeah, the body. That was kind of the whole narrative. That sort of like, I don't know, 3rd or 4th read, I guess. Yeah. Yup. Fun stuff. And I know that like we had started, where's my Dakota stuff? I know we had started this keyframe, and I'm trying to remember, there was something that popped into my head where I realized like I might have to rethink this whole thing. So that's why I haven't actually gone further with it. Oh, but I did a little bit, huh? We didn't have the planets and the contrails back there before. Let's turn that drawing guide off. So that's new. I don't remember where we had left off, but I definitely had adjusted even the steam and stuff. I wasn't happy with it where we had left it off before, but yeah. But what I do want to get back to is I have a whole lineup, a whole slew of characters for this world that I want to design. So while we have her, she also has different outfits that I want to design, so we'll get into that at some point. I'm trying to figure out Ace here. I haven't figured out her character yet, but we will. And yeah, I've got a whole bunch more that I want to get into eventually. So, and then we'll get back to our fantasy story as well eventually. Yeah, lots of stuff to do, all on upcoming streams. Some of the stuff I can't zoom in on because Twitch would not be happy about that. Boobies and whatnot, can't show those. Nope. Anyway, this is it for tonight, I think. Yeah, we do have some mermaids, but can't show those because I don't give my mermaids seashells or, you know, seashell bras or whatever, because that's a Disney thing. That's not a me thing. So I can't show them here. What are you gonna do? Yes, there is lots of eventually. There's lots to do, basically, is all I'm saying. So, you know, I have some other creepy scenes I want to do for this month as well, but I definitely want to get into some of the characters because I want to push some of those stories forward. I'm not sure who's on, but you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. For now, I think we're gonna call it. Anyone on YouTube? We're gonna raid over here on Twitch, but thank you for joining very much, and I'm hoping I can get something in on Saturday, but we've got a ton of work that is like all due Monday, so we're gonna be working on the weekend. So I'm really gonna try at least get a short stream in on Saturday. I'll do my best. So yeah, let's give Mr. Joby Door a raid and hope that he's not about to bail. Looks like he's doing some super awesome stuff, so guys, definitely stick around. This piece is looking killer. So Yeah. Let's in like 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, raid on.